The following segment is sponsored by Food City.
Welcome in to week 14 of the college football catch-up for the Stateline Sports Reporters podcast. The final week of the regular season has arrived.
We've made it.
It's flown by, but it's also dragged on a little bit. We need a nap.
It has at some points, but it's crazy how fast it goes. It's kind of sad. I like football season.
Yeah. Keeps us
Everything
busy.
It keeps us busy and it's like flows.
Yeah.
The day to day we know
you get in a routine.
Yeah.
Now we have to do extra work.
Yeah. Now it's going to go off the handle. But
all right, we're going to start off a late kick in Blacksburg, Virginia at Virginia Tech. Both teams needing a win to get bowl eligible.
Yeah. Virginia Tech. We've been such a deep discussion all year long. How kind of the disappointing start that put everything to rest on them, competing for the ACC or some really high hopes of maybe getting a college football playoff berth. They're kind of the black horse underdog picks for a lot of people. And that just didn't turn out. So, it's kind of felt like this is the team that is dragged on for the last month or so. That's made football season seem pretty long. That 3-game losing streak they're on to kind of go into the finale. It's been rough. But you end it, at least the thing that can get the fans hype is it's Virginia. It's the Commonwealth Clash, night game in Lane Stadium. Go out on a high note. That's all you can ask for. Yeah.
I mean, you definitely, you need to win this. Virginia Tech is known for getting the bowl eligibility, whether it's, the nothing bowl or, actually making it to a halfway decent bowl. Mm-hmm. Making it to that bowl and getting that 6 win, hitting that mark is something that, fans care about. And administration certainly cares about getting to that point, especially with the disappointing season that they've had. Mm-hmm. So it'll definitely be interesting. Obviously, Virginia, its own little demon. Virginia Tech has actually won 22 of the last 24 matchups, including a big one last year. But it's kind of like there've certainly been some fights in there. Yeah. Virginia's putting up a fight in a lot of these games. So I don't know. This one should be interesting, especially you don't ever know who's going to actually end up taking the field for Virginia Tech at this point. Drones didn't play last week. Mm-hmm. Then Colin Shield got hurt. So then you have Pop Watson in at quarterback.
Yeah. You still had Brett Pry in the weekly press conference was still not giving out if they're playing or not. His straight up question right away was, I still don't know. And it's don't know if these guys are going to be playing or not, suiting up. What was that, Tuesday? So it's been 4 days since then. So I don't know if they're healthy. I guess we'll find out on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's also a matter of who wants to actually push themselves and suit up one last time.
That is it.
Who knows? Pop Watson definitely had spurts where you saw exciting stuff. You had spurts where I walked away from the TV. So it'll definitely be interesting to see. You hope that Bashal Tootin will be able to, get back out on the field and play again, contribute. And he's definitely been a highlight of this season. Ollie Jennings made some big-time plays last week. That was exciting to finally see him kind of get back to where we always expected he would be as, for Virginia Tech, and he just never quite got there. Obviously, APR. There are definitely some people that you want them to end out their time at Lane Stadium with a win.
Be a huge plus. Go out with a bang.
Exactly.
Go play.
Exactly. Now, this is the winner, you're done. You have to win. You got to, we talked about Virginia Tech not starting the way they wanted to. Can Tennessee end the way that they need to? Tennessee on the road at Vanderbilt here on Saturday.
Yeah, if you want to be the pessimistic person that kind of slays hopes in Vols Nation, you could easily just say this is exactly the spot where they just go and lay an egg.
I've heard a lot of people are like, I might throw a couple bucks on Vandy.
Now that they know that the pressure's on, because I think if last weekend did not happen and Tennessee got all the help that they got to put them in a position like this, I think they probably go and roll Vanderbilt, and then you're just praying and hoping some teams lose and you're either sneaking in or you're the last team out, and then it's all, now that the pressure's on them where they know that if they win, you're in. That's where it gets a little sketchy for me. Because that's just how sports goes. You want to say that the mental toughness kind of like it just goes out the window sometimes, especially in moments like this when the pressure's high. So
Yeah.
I don't know. They moved up to 8th CFP rankings. That gives them a home game if things play out how they're supposed to. Of course, everything gets all confusing with you don't know what's going to happen because it all depends on who gets that bye from the Big 12.
Yeah.
That
with the
could shake things up.
With all the conference
Yeah.
games, who's going to win, who's going to lose, where does that all fall?
So we're still far from knowing what's going to happen. We have about a couple weeks before we'll really know after all those conference title games. But all Tennessee knows is they got to win this game. Win, you're in.
Win and you're in.
If you don't, you're definitely out.
Yeah. And in theory, this should be, easy win. This Tennessee has won 35 of the last 41, the last 5 in a row.
Yep.
But, in come Diego Pavia, he's kind of shifted this whole, Vanderbilt's whole mood.
Yeah.
Obviously, set the tone with the win over Virginia Tech, who came into the season pretty high regard.
Yeah.
And so that was a big win. Obviously, the win over Alabama took Texas down to the wire. Like, they've been in some of these games where Vanderbilt has not been in for a long time.
Yeah, and that's the scary part for Tennessee is that if they let them hang around and don't get off to a good start, which has been their Achilles heel all year. They didn't even get off to
a great start against UTEP.
No, it was ugly. That first quarter, I'm sitting there and I'm like, and then it turns into, what was it, 56-0?
Oh, I don't know. But I was refreshing, and I was just like, are you kidding?
They seriously haven't scored yet?
I was like, me and Cole we were like,
yeah,
we're taking the over. Yeah. And they pulled it off. They hit. We were spot on.
But it was a struggle to get there. But no, seriously. I mean, the Boo Birds were coming out in the first quarter. Don't like to see that. So yeah, but that's been their Achilles heel is starting off strong and fast and scoring and getting ahead. And if they don't do that, that's where you run into some trouble. You keep a team like Vanderbilt around that's a program that's been bad for a long time, but they're kind of have some momentum. They're on the rise. You keep them in a game, especially late in the year, they're going to find a way to pull it off.
I think the one advantage is that Vanderbilt does not have a fan base. I'm saying that, in kindness, but I know for a fact my parents were at the Virginia Tech Vanderbilt game, and I mean, they hopped on a plane, flew for however many hours to get there. They said Virginia Tech looked like the home team. Mm-hmm. You can guarantee Tennessee is going to look like the home team in this one with the opportunity. They know the entire fan base is aware win and you're in, you're probably getting a home playoff game at Neyland in the first year that's a possibility. Yeah, they're going to be there. And I think that might end up helping Tennessee to some degree.
Yeah, you're probably right. We'll see a lot of orange on Saturday.
There you go.
Orange.
There you go. There you go. All right, we're going to shift into the Lawrence Locks segment. As always, take every pick with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we hit, sometimes we don't, Yeah. All for the fun of the game.
It's okay.
All right. We're going to start off Virginia Tech. VT open 7-point favorites. They've remained that throughout the week.
Yeah. Just the way this has gone, I think Tech goes out with a good showing. I'll take the -7. Like you said, I mean, last year was a blowout. There's been some blowouts when VT's won 22 of the last 24. Virginia, they hang around a little bit sometimes, but Tech -7. I'm going with it.
I'm also
just being at home. Last game at Lane Stadium this year.
I'm gonna roll Virginia Tech -7. I think it's the battle of the bads right now, and Virginia Tech. I feel like they've been in this position so many times before, where you need a win over Virginia to get that bowl eligibility, and I feel like they tend to get it done.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it to the Hokies. Hopefully they're not the Chokies. All right, we're going to move on. Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Tennessee opened 11.5-point favorites. They've lost a half a point, so they're down to 11-point favorites in this one.
Yeah. I think Tennessee wins this game and punches their ticket, but I think it's going to be close. I'm going to go Vanderbilt +11. That's a 2-score game. This could very well be a 1-score game down to the final minutes. just because the weight of the game and the pressure that's on. I can see Tennessee making it close and people clenching everything and getting nervous, knowing their season might come to an end on this, but they'll pull it out, but it's going to be close. That's my thought.
I think I'm going to roll with some optimism, which is new for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Tennessee to cover 11 points.
Okay.
I think it's just
let's hope. I'm hoping they can pull out a full 4 quarter and beat up.
I want to say there was something in that, waiting for the press conference, waiting for Heupel to come out every Monday. Obviously, everyone's, chit-chatting back and forth. And someone said that, however many of these games they've been 2-score games. These haven't been close games as of recent. And obviously, this is different Vanderbilt, different Tennessee. Yeah. But I don't know. It's I'm going to give the edge to Virginia Tech. I'm going to give the edge to Tennessee. They are the dominants in this matchup, and I'm just going to roll with them. Okay. That's how we're rolling.
Fair enough.
All right, now we're going to go quick, rapid fire. It is rivalry week. Obviously, our rivalries locally a little one-sided. Doesn't really feel like huge rivalries. Some of these other ones, not so much. All right, we're going to start off big one with big playoff implications that impact me as a Clemson fan. Number 15, South Carolina at number 12, Clemson. Tigers have been favored by 3 all week.
Clemson.
You're taking my Tigers?
-3.
See, I have a really bad memory from the last time a noon kickoff in Death Valley with South Carolina and Clemson. It was my final game as a student, and I had never seen Clemson lose at home in my 4 years, and they lost their final game. And then my boss had me go and interview Coach Beamer's wife and Frank Beamer, which that was amazing for me growing up as a Virginia Tech fan. Yeah. But I was holding back tears the entire time on the field. I was I just watched. That was my last game as a student, and we just lost.
That's tough.
So I'm going to say that we're going to not do that again. Yeah. And I'm going to pull Clemson by 3. I think Clemson's going to win by at least 10. Okay. Hot take. All right. Michigan at Ohio State. Obviously, this is not the Michigan of years past. This is not the big game of years past. Hear me out. Ohio State, 20.5-point favorites, down to 19.5-point favorites. That still seems like a big line for me.
Very big.
I get that this is not Michigan of years past. This is still a rivalry game. And this is one of the big ones. I mean, they do what? They cross out the M's? Is that what they do?
Yeah. I was going to start it by saying, Michigan's not going to play spoiler. That's their whole goal here. They haven't had a good year. They're coming off the national title. This is their national title, is to go and ruin Ohio State's season. So they're going to come and play, and I don't see it being a 3-touchdown game. So I will definitely take Michigan plus 19.5. I'm
going to also roll with
rivalry means too much for it to be a
blowout like that. All right, we're going to go number 5, Notre Dame at USC. Notre Dame opened as 7-point favorites, up to 7.5-point favorites. This is also another play spoiler game. Lincoln Riley's got nothing to lose here, everything to gain.
A lot of spoilers here. It's just USC, just complete disappointment. The first game of the year against LSU, and everyone's like, "Oh, USC might be back," and it's just been.
Not.
Their defense is terrible.
When I think of USC, truly, what I think of this year is I've been big into Dancing with the Stars, and one of the pros started dating one of the tight ends from the team, and that's about as much as I know about USC this year.
Okay. So irrelevant.
Pretty much.
So I don't know. They could, but I'll just take Notre Dame.
To cover 7.5?
Yeah.
Hot take. I'm going to take USC to cover 7.5. I think it's going to be a 7. I think 7 flat. All right. Auburn at number 13, Bama. Bama, 11.5-point favorites all week.
I mean, Bama's coming off their worst game of the year and got booted from the playoff because of it.
Auburn just played spoiler too.
Yeah. They did. So I don't know if they could do it again. I'll just take Bama minus 11.5. They finished the regular season strong. Yeah, that's it.
I really want to go Auburn to cover the 11.5. Yeah. But I also am going to go Bama 11.5. I think Nick Saban's about to make some phone calls in that building and be like, what's going on? This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
All right, and then our last pick of the week. This is kind of a big one in grand scheme of like
Yeah.
SEC whole thing. Texas at Texas A&M. Texas 5.5-point favorites. The winner is going to go to the SEC championship game to play Georgia.
That is big because A&M has the team where they can definitely do it and have a shot at it. And then obviously if you win the conference title game, you're in no matter what your record is. So,
It's also like,
boy.
do you really want to go up against Georgia? I know Georgia's got 2 losses, but
yeah. I don't know. I think that's tough. It's tough. We're really going to see what Texas is made of and if they are truly the number 3 team in the country, because I really don't think they've played that strong of a schedule this
they
year.
haven't.
And they lost to Georgia. Wait, no. They beat up on Georgia. They smoked them. Or am I wrong on that? No, they lost. They got smoked by Georgia.
Yeah.
So that was their real only test of the year, and they did not live up to it. So if they can, that's why the 5.5, that seems pretty low. I was expecting like a +7 or 7.5. So I'll go with Texas to cover -5.5. But I don't think it's like a blowout. But that's only a touchdown game.
Yeah.
Win by a touchdown.
Weren't there some questions about Quinn? I swear I saw things on social media about.
But the
like,
good thing is they have the best
Quinn.
backup quarterback in the country. So.
Well, they're certainly they have the most expensive backup quarterback in the country. That's for sure.
So I think they'll be all right, even if Quinn doesn't play. But I'll take Texas -5.5.
I am also gonna roll Texas 5.5.
Okay.
We're gonna stick together on that. There you go. All right, that's going to wrap up the regular season for the College Football Catch-Up podcast. We'll have coverage from these games. I'm going to, brave the cold out in Blacksburg. I purchased all of my hot hands.
There you go.
We're going to layer up, and we're going to have full coverage from that game on Sunday because it's an 8 o'clock game.
Yeah.
So make sure to tune in all weekend for coverage from these big college football games.
Sponsored by Food City.